Hi guys, I told you I would come back and tell you about my new cards that I'm working with, and I'm so excited about them. And today I'm going to show you all about them. First, before I start, I wanted to tell you about its history. And hold on, let me just pin myself so you can just see me for a second. There we go. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about its history. So 2 weeks ago, I attended an art class, and well, it's an art/spiritual class led by Sue Bracy, who is a wonderful spiritualist at church. Well, there's a church that I go to called Center for Spiritual Enlightenment, and it was a 3-part series. Tomorrow is the third part, and I'm going to put that information for you in the description in case you're interested in joining her future classes. Totally worth it. So in it, she does this amazing little activity where all of us had just like a piece of paper, and I think there were about 16 of us, and so we each made a mark or a word, or we had access to all kinds of art materials, and all of us put the marks or words that we felt was relevant, or we were given 10 seconds. So we weren't really thinking that deeply about what kind of marks we made on the paper. So anyway, the paper went around, and when it came back to me, like my paper came back to me after it's been marked on by 16 people, all the messages in there, the words, and even the images really resonated with me and really provided me with guidance. And what was most interesting about the whole experience is that the person who wrote the word did not sometimes know why they wrote the word, and sometimes their interpretation of what the word meant was actually very different from what it meant to me when I got it. But nevertheless, the message still resonated very deeply with me, and it still was a message that I needed to hear at the time. So it gave me an idea of creating a set of cards with symbols that were very simple symbols, and so simple to the point where many possible interpretations could be drawn from the symbol. So if you look at the symbol, there could be many different interpretations of the symbol. And so I shared this with my amazing ladies that I work with, and I belong to a group of Akashic readers, and we are called the Akashic Circle of Light. And I brought this idea to them, and we all brainstormed together to come up with these amazing symbols. And of course, I'm sharing this because you too can create such a set for yourself. And the purpose of it is what's important. The purpose of it is so that you can connect with your higher self, so that you can connect with your guides. You can connect with higher level wisdom. And the way that that works, if you want me to take the spiritual piece out of it, is that when you work with oracle cards, oftentimes you allow yourself to bypass the analytical mind, and therefore you are able to access that inner wisdom that has already been there the whole time. So I am a huge believer in that. You don't need a psychic to know what to do. You don't need a medium. You don't need a healer to heal. It's all already within. Yes, it would be wonderful to get support from these people, but to become dependent on them and to think that you yourself can't reach those depths of wisdom and connectivity is just wrong. So I'm a huge believer in that you should be able to read your own records. You should be able to be a medium. You should be able to psychically connect, you should be able to do all these things that you see people openly doing and claiming they can do. You too can do it. So I'm a huge believer in that. So yes, I'm here to support you to connect, but I really also believe that you personally can connect. So I'm sharing these cards for the reasons of just letting you know that you can create them too. You can get a set of index cards and make a bunch of cards. And what happens is when you set yourself in an environment where you're calm, whether in a meditative state, or maybe you write a prayer. In my case, I wrote a prayer, and you too can write a prayer. You can, just sit down and figure out, what it is that you're asking for and who it is that you're asking it from. And then do an ending closing prayer. And that really sets the tone for the sacred nature of this process. So there are all the ingredients for you to just be free with this. I'm freely, with all my heart, share this information so that you can create your own cards, invent your own symbols. These are symbols that I often connect with when I do Akashic readings. These symbols just naturally come through. And so I use most of the symbols that I used are symbols that come through for me when I do Akashic readings. So let's get started. I'm going to show you the box. I'm going to actually pin, add pin. There we go. So I created this box. First of all, let me just show you. It has, I'm going to take the cards out of it so you can see the box. So this is a brie box, like brie, B-R-I-E, from the cheese. And just a really cool story about how Great Spirit supports you always is I ordered the cards, and they were 4 inches long or across a diameter. And I asked myself, oh no, they're not going to send me a box. And oh no, I'm going to have to make one. So I went to Aldi, where I do some of my food shopping, and all of a sudden I had this craving for brie. Like, who doesn't have craving for brie? But I did see the brie, and I thought, oh, I'm getting, brie. And then I realized, oh, the brie container, and this is taller than the real brie container. The brie container is only about this much. I had to add a little bit more. But the brie container is lo and behold, it's 4.5 inches across. And so it would be perfect for the cards to just nice and cozy fit in there without feeling stuck and crammed. So I went ahead and added a little piece of cardboard, taped it all up, and then glued and made sure it was nice and firm. And then I went ahead and painted it. Now this part came a little wiggly, but that's okay. It's on the inside and it's supposed to be smaller, so it works out really well. It's got a little texture to it. It's not the perfect job, but it does its job. Now you notice some writing on the inside. And so this is my opening prayer, and you can take a screenshot if you're interested. And so I just put in all of the different ingredients that I wanted for my opening prayer. And the conscious mind connecting to the higher self, spirit, and all the divine forces of the universe was inspired by the work of Sonia Choquette, who writes amazing books about connecting with your higher selves. And that's pretty much it. I was inspired by Linda Howe, who said that her opening and closing prayers were downloaded to her the day before 9/11. So I'm like, hey, I could do that too. And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand, that you too can, create a prayer to help you set yourself in that sacred space, or create a sacred bubble for yourself when you're doing your reading. Okay. And then this is my closing prayer, and it's a little bit tight. You see the I is a little cut off over there. I offer, okay. And then luminous, it's a little cut off, but it fits. Um, and and with this closing prayer, I just wanted to communicate gratitude and communicate that some of these messages, while they might right now not mean anything, that they will stay with us, and we will become more aware of its meaning later on. Now, the front and the back has these cards that the Akashic Circle of Light, and it's got an image that shows all 5 of us. Actually, in this one, it looks like there's 6 of us. Oh my goodness! So maybe we're gonna have another person. Who knows? So there we go. It's funny, I just figured that one out. All right, so I don't know what happened over here, but oh well. It's well loved already after a couple of days. So let's get started with the cards. So I ordered these cards, and I'll put the link in the description. And I have to thank Risa for this. She is in the Akashic Circle of Light with us, and she found this really cool place that makes these cards, and they print the front of the card. And I'm gonna just flick it so you can see like how it's pretty sturdy and smooth. So with the back, I went ahead and used a Sharpie. And for those who are not familiar with Sharpies, these are Sharpies right here. They are permanent markers, permanent. And if you let them dry on the paper, you're gonna have to give them a few seconds to dry. They do not smear, okay? So I'm just gonna run through a couple of these symbols so that you are familiar with how incredibly simple some of these symbols are, okay? And while I'm flipping through these, I want you to think about what some of these meanings could be. And I'm also openly sharing this so that you can create your own, and maybe there's about 30 more that you can come up with, and be my guest. Open book, choice, sword, female, north, a nest. Some of these I have to tell you what it is. A ladder, a magic wand, closed book, a blank card, fire, suitcase, a mail sign, chair, a fence, broken heart, heartbeat, erratic heartbeat, unclosed circle, flower, fireworks. This was one I created on my own without the group because I really like fireworks. This is a pyramid, paintbrush, a cloud, oops, snowflake, window. And as you're going through these, I want you to just keep connecting with what it means to you. A moon. Yes, I could have done better with the moon, but oh well. Birds, a pencil, a tornado, a brick wall, ticket. This one I created on my own too. A bomb. We'll see. A sun breaking through the clouds. Cut. Balance or imbalance. One big and small ball. Heart. The planet. Ear. The sun. Overlapping circles. I'm not sure even how to describe that one, but you can see what it is. Star, money, a band-aid, circle, calm or meditation, candy, tree, plus sign, rain, 3 circles intertwining, a dying flower, concentric circles or bullseye, mirror, music, mountains, And this one, there's two of these. One is two lines connect to one, ocean or water, lightning, sound, movement, nose, imbalance, hammer, arrow. This one, depending on where it falls and during the reading, is very important. Speech bubble, an egg. Oh, this one is actually this way. A stairway. Puzzle piece. This one is the other way, because I think I told you there. And they break up. So one path breaks up into two. Seed. A messy line. Anchor. Key. A gift. This could be many things. I'm actually not just going to describe it. Footsteps. A windy path. Inspiration. It's like the grass growing towards the sun. Open box. A straight line. Shooting star. Trash. King. Diamond. Nature or plant. Hold on a minute. Nature or plant. Variety of flowers. A cup. A diamond ring. This one is roots. A triangle. Support. Check mark. As an X marks the spot. Balance. An all black card. House. Spiral. Oops. Spiral. A cracked egg. A cube. A frame. A bed. A clock. All right. So there is my set, and depending on, oops, sorry, that's crazy. There we go. I'm going to unpin, remove pin. There we go. All right. So depending on what your needs are, you can add to the set, or you can take away some of the images that don't mean anything to you. I went ahead and added a whole bunch from our initial meeting, and there's some that just didn't speak to me. So it's so important that the images speak to you personally. So I am here to fully empower you to create your own set, and you don't have to have like a neat little card set like this. You could use the ones that I used initially were just these cardstock paper that see, that were drawn on. So these are the same symbols that I drew on the other card. So this is the set I used initially. So you can do this for a while until you feel you want something more formal. And I'm also going to include my opening and closing prayer underneath. There we go. And at the moment, I am doing these readings in addition to my Akashic readings. So if you have signed up to get an Akashic reading from me, you will also get one of those readings in addition. So just remind me that I said this whenever we have a conversation. Okay, so hopefully I can't wait to see what your card looks like, and I'm so excited to spread the message that you yourself can communicate with your higher selves without the help of an external person or tool from that person. So you yourself can do this. All right. See you guys. Have a wonderful weekend.